Posted by you/coldalfalfa1554. WIBTA for not attending my best friend's wedding after she told me she doesn't want me to be in any photos but still wants me to be MOH? My F27 best friend, F27, is getting married in February. She has been planning her wedding for 2 years and I have been actively helping her the entire time as her maid of honor. I am extremely excited for her to get married, but she is slightly controlling. She's the kind of girl that has to have everything perfect or it's completely ruined. But her wedding, her rules. Well, I found out I was pregnant at the beginning of October and am due toward the end of June. This is my first baby and I have struggled heavily with fertility issues, so this is a literal miracle baby. My husband and I had literally just given up hope in trying for a little while this past summer. I will be in my second trimester during the time of her wedding. Well, I told my best friend last week and she seemed upset. She wasn't too happy that I was pregnant, and her first question is if I would fit in my bridesmaid dress. The dress is extremely flowy, and I told her that I should be just fine, and if not, I'll cover the cost of any alterations/buying another dress. I bought my dress in the first place anyways. Like literally her first question, not even congratulations. I tried to shrug it off and just assumed she was stressed. Her bachelorette party is next month. I've been exclusively planning it, so I just reached out with the final details to her to confirm everything. During the phone call she tried to make me feel bad that I wouldn't be drinking with the rest of them and that it wouldn't be the beach party of her dreams, and I told her it would still be fun. That upset me even more, but I just tried to shrug it off once again. Today she called and told me she had a hard decision to make, but she's been thinking about it, and while she would like to keep me MOH, she doesn't want me in her pictures. She said that my bump would be too distracting, she didn't want her pictures to turn into a maternity photo shoot, and that she just didn't feel comfortable with it. However, she still wanted me to pay for the bachelorette party, help her plan the wedding, and wanted me to do almost everything MOH except be in pictures, and she was debating if she still wanted me to give a speech. She then sent me a bunch of bag-like dresses to choose from as my new dress since I won't need my MOH dress. We have been best friends since we were 10. I would have never in my wildest dreams expected her to act this way. WIBTA for dropping out of her wedding? I really don't feel like paying for, and being supportive of, a person who treats me like a disposable mooch after years of fertility issues. But I also feel like I may be overreacting, as some of my friends said that I would look odd in the pictures. Thoughts? Now onto some comments before the updates. Posted by The Vibe is Bad. My best friend was 8 months pregnant at my wedding and I would have paid extra money to my photographer to give us full-on belly shots of her. Other than pics of me and my hubby, my favorite shot of the day is of me and my BFF both holding her belly in tears. To see how far we had both come in life. That baby is now my goddaughter and means absolutely the world to me. She is not a friend to you, I don't care how long you have known her. You are a privilege to know and deserve to be in loved one's pictures regardless of your physical state. Drop out of the wedding and drop out of her friendship. Congratulations, and I wish you luck with finding your tribe. Edit. Was so amazed by the audacity of the post I forgot my judgment. NTA. C. Okra responded with, my mom was close to due at my aunt's wedding. She had never thought she could get pregnant and offered to step down as a bridesmaid. Aunt would not even let her finish before saying "Nuh-uh, can't get out of it that easy," and demanding that mom tell her any way she could make the wedding easier on the heavily pregnant lady mom was gonna be. At the wedding, mom says she looked like she was smuggling a beach ball and people kept asking her when she was gonna have that baby already. Which mom says cursed me. Her due date was late July/early August, and I made my debut in mid-June. My aunt was loving it and begging to feel her belly all night. Oh, and I kicked my uncle during a dance apparently. Then I was born on the last day of their honeymoon. They didn't even drop off their stuff, they ran straight from the airport to see mom and me. My aunt was utterly delighted and apparently told me several times, "You are my very youngest wedding guest." She got me back for stealing all her bride light though. Very much a joke, she never even accused me or mom of any such thing. For my 6th birthday I got a cousin. I was stoked and still remember thinking he was at least as great as the 8-color ballpoint pen my dad's bass player gave me. Much grumbling was done about how I got a lot of really nice gifts, but my favorite was that cheap pen. It was cool though, wrote in 8 colors. In hindsight, they should have done more double birthdays for us. Mom and aunt always helped each other with the parties anyway, and they had 2 kids born on almost the same day. I made it out before midnight, he was a few minutes late, it would have been way easier. We both loved the few double parties that were done, so I'm not sure what stopped them. We honestly got along as well as any 2 kids with a 6-year age gap. I doted on him, and he swayed between adoring/looking up to me and wanting to be my protector. We're still in the second phase actually. Our sweet 16/10ths would have been epic. Actually, we did spend my 16th/his 10th together. No party though, we watched monster movies with a couple of my friends and his best friend, ate pizza and painted the boys' nails. He brought me a fancy cupcake for my candle, and I stuck his into the cheesecake I made. Posted by First Girl Wonder. NTA. Please back out and update us. Say something like, I'm sorry, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I have to make the hard decision to step down as MOH. It's a very stressful time, and seeing as I'm pregnant, I do not want to put any unnecessary stress on me and my child. Maybe mention something about you'll need the money for all the things you have to now buy for the baby. I know how this sounds, but as a new mother, I would have totally backed out if someone had treated me this way, especially a really good friend. Edit. Wow. This is my most upvoted comment, and I'm very humbled by everyone's responses. I do see everyone's point, and I didn't see it as saving the friendship, but just bowing out gracefully. I do agree she needs to put it back on the bride and just wasn't thinking of it like that. OP responded with, I am mostly so scared to lose our friendship. I have no siblings and she has been like a sister to me for nearly 18 years. I keep trying to justify her behavior or find a way out of this without wrecking the friendship, and I don't know what to do. Corgi16 responded with, is it really worth it to salvage this friendship? She's being hurtful, but you're the one trying to not hurt her feelings. Also, if you use baby as your excuse for dropping out, I guarantee she'll use that against you and further shame you for it. Honestly, it sounds to me like she's lashing out because things are changing and you're in different life stages now. If you do decide to save this friendship, you need to have a heart-to-heart with her and figure out why she's acting this way or where this is coming from, as well as how her treatment of you is making you feel. She needs to know that it's okay to be upset or disappointed her best friend is in another life stage, but it's not okay to treat you like trash. OP responded with, oh, I wouldn't use the baby as an excuse at all. I think if I decide to drop out, I will simply leave it, as I don't believe I am a good fit for your MOH at this time, as you have said. Here are my lists blah 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 and then IDK if I'm still on the fence about even attending if I drop out as MOH. Astro, can you not responded with, don't fall into a sunk cost fallacy. When people are jerks, you're allowed to let them go. That also goes for the other friends who agreed with her, these people are all loons. OP responded with, I'll be honest, a lot of them are her college friends / co-workers that I have nicknamed her yes men, and she knows I do. They weirdly worship her and will hang on to her every word. She runs a really successful business, so I know why they do, but it's still so weird to me lol. There's one other girl from HS on there that we are both friends with who is on my side 100%, aka why should I not be MOH, because I might have a small baby bump, and I've been talking to about how to go about this, but I don't want to make her give up such a long-running friendship either, so I told her not to worry and that I would work it out. She can make whatever decision she wants, but I don't want her to feel forced to give up a friendship over an argument that doesn't have to do with her. Posted by Salami Worsty. NTA. You'll be 4/5 months pregnant then. Your bump will be tiny and it can be easily covered up with a bouquet for the photos. She is the I'm just sorry for you, as it looks like this friendship means a lot to you and she is throwing it away with her bridezilla behavior. OP responded with, okay, so glad I'm not crazy thinking that the baby bump will be small. I kept sending pics to her and in the bridesmaid chat to say that it could be easily hidden that far along, and they told me I was understating it. Mind you, the dress is literally so woodland fairy level of flowy that I think I could gain another 10 pounds and the chiffon would cover it up easily. But they are convinced I'm going to be whale level at that point, to which I say, even if I was, what's wrong with that? I'm still me. Now on to the updates from the best of Redditor updates. Update 1 was from the comments section from October 26, 2022. I'm going to bed now, but I've collected my thoughts enough to know that I'm going to call her tomorrow and have a very blunt conversation. Hopefully I can get her in person. I'm either in her pictures as Mo with the dress I have, or I'm not in her wedding / attending at all. I'll also be speaking about how her actions have made me feel and how her lack of excitement about my pregnancy, despite me holding 110% enthusiasm for 2 years for her wedding because I'm excited for her, but also because I know it makes me feel good to have people excited for her, has deeply wounded me. I know it's going to be a friendship-altering conversation and I am not excited to have it, but I will let you know what ends up happening. Thank you all for the support and kind words. I normally am a very anti-confrontation / water off a duck's back kind of person, but all these comments telling me I deserve better have been very encouraging. Update 2 was from the same post on October 27, 2022. I want to first say a big thank you to all the wonderful comments of congratulations and support. I often try to be very level-headed about things, sometimes to the detriment of myself, and also still wanted to be a part of the day since she is my best friend and we have grown together for so long. I am someone who really values integrity, and I felt like if I dropped out, I would be betraying a core value of mine. And many people reached out to me for an update, so here it is. I sat down with her and had a very long and blunt talk. I even brought out the post to show her that I am not crazy about some of the points I made. I told her about how deeply my feelings were hurt by her words and actions. I told her I couldn't understand why I couldn't be a full Mo and be included in pictures. If I were to be fully honest, she almost convinced me that the whole idea of just keeping me as Mo but with no pictures was for my benefit. She told me it was to take the stress off of me for the day and to make sure I didn't feel uncomfortable with my new weight, but I knew it wasn't true. I knew she just didn't want me to be in her wedding party with a baby bump but wanted my money and planning expertise. I've withheld this information, but I am a wedding planner with many connections. However, I wouldn't cut any of them off due to a falling out. I am not planning her wedding as I felt it would be too much for me because I would want it to be to a level of perfection I couldn't achieve, but I did hook her up with another planner friend who is incredible, but she has utilized me for free a lot. I think I realized all too clearly in almost an instant that the second she got engaged that our friendship became a business partnership to her, whereas it never changed for me. For the past 2 years, what I thought were friendship bonding experiences for me I realized were merely free expenses for her. In the end, I decided to step out of the wedding as Mo. I will be sending all the information I have to our joint friend who is in the wedding party and will still be paying for that friend's portion of the beach party instead of the whole thing, as I know it will put that friend out of money, which I feel awful about. I have been uninvited to the wedding as a whole, which was not unexpected. My friend was very angry and upset with the conversation and said some deeply hurtful things that will take me a long time to recover from. To say I am devastated is an understatement, as I expected this woman to be the godmother of my child. But I feel extremely relieved to have discovered this before the birth of my child. Now my baby's life will be filled with people who love them unconditionally. And the same goes for me. Once again, thank you all. I appreciate your assurances and help more than you will ever know. Additional comment that pertains to the updates. OP was asked why she paying for the one friend? OP responded with, I promise I'm only paying for my one friend who is not the bride. The price is significantly lower, and if my friend, who is debating on even staying in the wedding party, goes, the trip would be a huge, unexpected cost to her that I can't have that weighing on my heart. She is in a very overworked and undervalued profession that rarely gets a break, so I'm taking it as a way to give her a well-deserved paid vacation since I know I planned a kick-ass bachelorette party. If she doesn't go, I think we're going to plan our own girls' trip at an all-inclusive resort for a little TLC since she already has the days off. Either way, it's a win for her. I personally will be using the week either way to get a massage and maybe a small getaway with my husband. We're working out the details. Update 3, which was posted in the r/Bridezilla subreddit. Hi. Op from the post here. After reading all the comments on my post about how my friend was such a bridezilla, I was advised to check out this sub and saw my post cross-posted here. Ha. I do know that people use Reddit a lot for creative writing. I've actually never taken to a Reddit sub for moral questions like this, but I honestly felt so gaslight by the bride and her yes men bridesmaids that my request to be in pictures would ruin her whole wedding that I felt actually crazy and didn't know where else to go because it was embarrassing to ask my other friends that knew us, but I can tell you that this is a very true story of a devastating moment in my life. I think I obviously wrote the post in a very black and white manner with super basic details, but there is so much nuance to relationships that can't be put into 3K words. I just told the story from my perspective, which in the moment I wrote it was filled with hurt. But the reason I'm writing this comment is not to tell you to believe me, little creepy for people on the internet to do, and also why should you care about my life either way? But it is to explain me paying for the entire beach party. I grew up extremely poor and got married young, 20, we had dated since 15, because my husband and I were excited to start our lives together and didn't really care about the perfect wedding at all. To me, weddings are all about feeling and people. We couldn't afford much of anything and I planned my entire wedding and only spent the largest bit of money on the photographer. We literally got married in my BFF's family's backyard. It's huge and gorgeous, and my mom's family was kind enough to make all the food and I did all my flowers, DIY decor, etc. Anyway, this is my long-winded way of saying that I did not even plan or think about a party for myself as I was young and couldn't afford it. I had 3 bridesmaids that were in college, and we were also all incredibly poor and I didn't want to make them spend any more money than the dresses for the wedding. My now ex-BFF surprised me with a fully paid trip for me and all of my bridesmaids to what was honestly my perfect bachelorette party. Thinking about it now still brings me tears and I had no idea she was going to do it. Obviously, her family paid for it, she grew up very wealthy, but the gesture still touches me so deeply. I promised her I would do the same when she got married. I loved planning my own wedding so much I actually changed my major in college to event planning and management and now plan weddings for a career and I love it. And I do pretty well. I could luckily absolutely afford to pay for the entire trip for my BFF's beach party like I promised her I would, minus everyone's travel. I'm not paying for 6 plane tickets, but I'll absolutely pay for a 3-day stay in a Verbo Easy. It was my gift to her, as she gifted me years ago. Sorry for the long-winded post. I saw a lot of assumptions on the OG post, but it was overwhelming to have so many responses to every single comment I posted, as I thought that my post wouldn't get more than like 10 views and maybe a helpful comment. It felt much less daunting to answer it on this forum. Hope this clarifies that for you. Last comment from the OP. This happened a few days ago, so honestly there has not been much of an update other than what I gave on the post. I told her I wouldn't be her mo unless I was in pics. She kicked me out of her wedding, and we haven't spoken. To me, our friendship is over, and I don't know if there is anything that could be done to restore it. So, I don't know if you would call it graceful, but I can confidentially say I am no longer her friend.